Greetings and salutations. Well, last night I came out here and I made a video about the importance of having an air compressor in your off-road rig so that you can air down and air back up. And while that is true, excuse me one minute. While that is true, I made the video as I was losing light, and I did an unboxing. I'll roll that clip here. The GSPSCN, that's a mouthful, vehicle tire inflation pump. This is a 12 volt unit. It is a two-cylinder, a double cylinder. I'm assuming that means two. Let's see, 150 psi. And I don't remember what the flow rate is here. Here's the flow, 70 liters per minute. But let's open it up and see if it's in the, yep, made in China, from the land of cheap shit. So let's check out and see what comes with this. This one is model 202Y. It's priced at around 50 bucks. Let's see what comes with it. Oh, it comes with a little pouch, little satchel. And a coiled hose. Right now it is in the upper 40s here, and it's not breaking, so it's capable of handling 40-degree weather without getting brittle. Alligator clip to cigarette lighter adapter. Comes with a fuse, a needle valve, a needle pump thing for like doing sports balls, like a football or basketball. There's a little plastic tapered thing for maybe blowing up beach balls, and an extra fuse. Let's see here.
Deceptively small.
Let me see. Plastic. It's got a fold away handle, a pressure gauge, on off switch, '01-2021 is the inspection date. Hello. That's the part you screw onto your tire. It has a rather lengthy power cord. Of course, you can swap this over to use alligator clips in lieu of your cigarette lighter, which I would recommend. No sense in melting your cigarette lighter. And I usually have mine, I have a power port and a cigarette lighter port. They're both the same thing essentially. One's keyed and one's not, but I have my phone plugged into one and my camera battery plugged into the other. So let me go over and get a battery. I'll bring a battery over here and see how loud it is, eh? All right. Red to black and black to red, right? Positive, negative. That's not too terrible bad. I don't know how good this battery is. I suspect not very. But I got a tire I can pump up. Let's go pump up the tire in the dark. And then to demonstrate the effectiveness of the particular unit that I bought, aired up that back tire on the dart, which was at about 12 pounds. So it aired that tire up in a few minutes, and I was operating the air compressor off that battery, which maybe on its last leg. That's when I plugged in the battery charger and it worked great. Aired it up in a few minutes. I was impressed with the performance, even though it's a very inexpensive air compressor. Well, I figured it would probably behoove me to have a better understanding of the capabilities of this before I take it out in the field and try it by airing the tires down on my Jeep and airing them down from 30 to 15 pounds, and then seeing how long it takes to air them back up, and test the capabilities of this little air compressor, find out if it gets too hot or whatnot, and we'll just try it out and see how it works. Kind of count this as a mini review, and then in a couple of weeks after our little off-road excursion, then I'll do a follow-up and make a recommendation, or recommend that you don't buy it. But regardless, just to show you, 16 pounds, just over 15, and 16 pounds. I usually run these at about 30 to 35 pounds, depending on how much of a load I have in it. And why would you want to air down, you might be asking? Well, a good comparison to why you would want to air down off-road is to think of a basketball, right? If you have a basketball that's pumped up, it bounces really easy, right? Just doing, doing, and it'll bounce right back. But if you let a little bit of air out of that basketball and you go to dribble it, what does it do? It goes thud, and it doesn't bounce back. Well, when you're off-road, you're running through these little desert 2 tracks that I run through that are relatively rough and rock-filled. You're transferring the energy up through the suspension and ultimately into the cab of the truck. It'll jar your fillings loose, it'll rattle your bones, and it could potentially loosen up suspension components. And you don't want to be off-road bouncing down a trail. You want your tires to roll over those rocks and the energy to be absorbed by the tire, and that's the purpose of airing down. Not only that, but if you get into a situation where you're running through sand, airing your tires down will spread out the weight of the vehicle over a larger contact patch on your tires, and the tires will actually float on the sand rather than dig into it. I just don't have the cabbage to buy a $100 compressor right now. Ultimately, I'd like to get like a Viair or something compatible, Smitty built, a high-end air compressor that has a 100% duty cycle, mount that inside the cab, and then use one of the bumpers, front or rear, as an air tank, like my friend Martin did on his Jeep. So all I had was $50, so I bought this one. Let's see how it fares. One thing that you can do to make this process a lot easier is to get valve caps that will allow you to air down without monitoring the pressure. So you just screw on these air caps and they'll air down your tire until they hit a predetermined air pressure, and then they'll stop flowing air. And that way you can have a couple of them or 4 of them for that matter, and you can work your way around the vehicle, screw those things on, stand around, talk to your buddies, and when they stop hissing, you go and unscrew them, put your caps back on, and Bob's your uncle. And then the other thing you can do to speed up the airing up process is to buy an equalizer system that allows you to hook up all 4 tires to the air compressor at once, so that you're airing all of them up at the same time, and you don't have to move. But let's open the hood. All right, there we go. Oh, this shows about the same pressure that was in the dart yesterday. Sorry for the wind noise, by the way. I'm gonna pump this up to 40, and then I'll check with my tire gauge. I'll check the air pressure. Let's see how long this takes to do. It is currently 1:28 time. And let me start the truck. Let that run. See how long it takes. Not too bad. All 4 tires, plus checking the pressures, plus a couple of minutes looking for this because I put it in my pocket, forgot where I put it. Remind me I put it right there. So, figure 12 minutes to air up 4 tires from 15 pounds to 35 pounds. And nothing's exceedingly hot. Motor's warm to the touch, maybe 90 degrees, but it's not hot by any stretch of the imagination. Right here where the hose, there's a piston on either side of the motor, and there's a line that connects these two under this plastic bit. And right there, it's hot. You know, it's hot to the touch. You'd expect that after airing up 4 tires. We'll see if we can handle doing that about half a dozen times on our trip out Death Valley coming up in the middle of next month. But so far, for what I paid for it, it doesn't suck. If you're in a pinch and you need air quickly, but don't want to spend a ton of money, get yourself one of these GSPSCN vehicle tire inflation kits. You saw what it came with. You saw what it cost. And I think for 50 bucks, it's cheap insurance. So I did this last night, but I'll do it again. If you like this video and found it to be informative and entertaining, smash that like button, share it with your best social media network. That's the best thing you can do for this channel. Also, if you could, take the time to comment. Tell me anything. Tell me I'm ugly and my mom addresses me funny. I don't care. That just shows engagement, and maybe YouTube will get this video in front of some other like-minded people. If you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing. And if you do, click the bell icon. That way you'll get notified of future uploads. If you want to support the channel, sharing and liking is the cheapest thing to do. But if you shop on Amazon anyway, check the links in the description. If none of that stuff down there interests you, that's okay. If you shop on Amazon anyway, consider going through one of those links to do all your Amazon shopping. That way the channel earns a little bit of a commission. And Maybe Daddy can get a real air compressor someday. If you want to throw me a couple bucks, there's PayPal and there's Patreon if you want to support the channel on a monthly for as low as $3 a month. And if you can afford to do that, thank you in advance. And thank you to all the people that do that. Do. He said do. Thanks to all my patrons. I appreciate you. If you want to join that club, there's a link in the description. If you can afford to do any of those things, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you in advance. If you just can't swing that, don't worry about it. Enjoy the content anyway. It just means we're probably cousins. So until next time, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep powder dry, have us fun today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Don't forget the tire pressure gauge is on the back of the dirt. Put that in the glove box. Don't forget. Don't forget. I bet you forget. But don't forget. Tire pressure gauge is on the back of the dart. Don't forget. I can almost guarantee that this satchel will not make the trip. We'll see.